one of the sort of persistent myths is that it's going to put you into starvation mode, which is this idea that your body is going to shut down when you don't eat.
Right.
And it's actually completely untrue. In fact, it's the opposite. When you don't eat, your body actually doesn't shut down. It actually ramps itself up. And the reason for this is that as your hormone insulin goes down, remember, so when you eat, insulin goes up, tells your body to store calories. When you don't eat, insulin goes down, your body tells itself to liberate those calories. So taking, instead of storing glucose and storing fat, it's going to take glucose and it's going to take fat, it's going to turn it back into blood sugar so that you have energy. The thing is that one of the hormone system that gets revved up during that time is the sympathetic nervous system, which is noradrenaline. So you're actually increasing stimulation to your body. You're going to have more energy. It's just going to come from a different source. It's not going to come from food. It's going to come from your body fat or your blood sugar, right? But you're going to have more energy because that's what your hormones are telling you to do. And you can see this as you're going to get increased concentration. So again, one of the myths is that, well, I have to work, I have to eat. No, you don't have to eat. You can concentrate just fine not eating. And people are just going to say they're tired, but you're going to have more energy. We see it all the time. People actually have so much energy. Sometimes they can't even sleep properly because their body's just sort of flooded with energy. And if you think about it, it makes sense. If you think about Thanksgiving, you had a huge Thanksgiving meal. Do you feel all that energetic, or do you just want to lie on the couch and watch TV, right? Because that's what your body is doing. Once you've had that huge meal, you're trying to store it away, right? You're not trying to use it. If you look at animals, you look at a lion who just ate, it's just sort of lying there, not very interested. Or you look at the hungry wolf who hasn't eaten. Is he lethargic and falling down? Not at all.
No.
He's got so much energy and he's zeroed in and focused because that's how he's going to get food. So those myths that, you're going to go into starvation mode, it's the opposite. When they do a study of people fasting for 4 days, so they looked at the amount of energy, the amount of calories that these people were burning. People say, oh, you're going to go into starvation mode, meaning your body's going to burn less calories. When you actually measure it, so you measure people at day 0, and then you give them no food for 4 days. Then you measure how much energy they're burning. The amount of calories that they burn in a day goes up by about 10%. So before they did the fasting, they're burning 2,000 calories. As they fasted for 4 days, at the end of those 4 days, they were burning 2,200 calories per day. So more calories per day, which is obviously a huge advantage if you are trying to lose body fat, because it means that that's where it's coming from. So the second myth is that, you're going to be tired, you can't concentrate, and that's also false. The third myth is that you're going to lose muscle mass. And this one always seems strange to me because, people talk about muscle mass and eating like there's this very tight correlation, but there's not. So just remember, how much muscle you have depends on how much you exercise that muscle, okay? Again, assuming that you're not malnourished and are protein deficient. If we could just eat and build muscle, hey, I'd love it, but it doesn't work like that. If you don't exercise, it matters very little what you eat, because you're not going to gain muscle mass or muscle strength, because that's, the body only gets stronger when you exercise it. So you could send people up to space where they have no gravity, there's no, they're not exercising, they lose muscle mass extremely quickly. That's why they have to exercise in space, right? It's not what they ate. Like, it's great if I could just eat more and gain muscle. And the opposite is also true. If you don't eat, your body doesn't automatically lose muscle, because, there's this idea that your body is just so incredibly stupid that your body's going to store energy as glucose and fat. And when you need it, the minute you need it, you're going to burn muscle.
Right.
Like, how does that even work? Why would you think the human body is so incredibly stupid that we became the dominant species of this planet? Like, why would you do that? It's like storing firewood for the winter, and then as soon as it gets cold, you chop up your sofa and throw it in the fire. Why would you do that? Muscle is functional tissue. It's not a store of energy, right? So when you need a store of energy, you go into your stores of energy, which is glucose and body fat.